Hi. If you're joining us, I'm going to give a few minutes to get everyone going and to get this started. I just wanted to make sure I had the link up on time. We'll probably start in about 3 or 4 minutes. If you've joined us, thank you. I will probably start in about 2 minutes. I'm just going to make sure everyone gets a chance to jump on, and then we'll get started, okay? Okay, I think we'll get started. I just want to make sure, sometimes it can take a little while to click the links and get you to the right places and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure everyone had a chance to do that before we got started. I am going to spend a little bit of time tonight just giving you a basic introduction to Young Living, giving you some information on the company, on the oils that come in the starter kit, just kind of some of the basic intro questions. And then we are going to go from there to just a little bit of like the, and then what? Some of you watching this may have had your oils for a while and you've been to an intro class maybe and you know how to use the everyday oils, but you kind of want to know what else to do. I understand that the transition to starting to use Young Living can be a learning curve for a lot of people. And if this is not something that you're used to, it can be a very big transition for you. So hopefully this will be able to help you with some of that and also going to give you some ideas for using the oils that you have. Okay, so a little about Young Living. Young Living is the oldest essential oil company in the world. They're the world leader, the fastest growing essential oil company, and one of the only company that has a seed to seal guarantee. So we own quite a few of our own farms, and the ones that we don't own, we have as partner farms, and we have the same quality standards for those farms as we do for the farms that we own. If you know anything about essential oils are the life and blood of the plant. So they consider it in a lot of ways like your blood is in your body. So if you broke open a leaf, that leaf has veins in it, and those veins would be the oil of that leaf. If you rub a lavender plant or a rose petal between your hands and you were left with any oily residue, that's the oil from that flower. So they work kind of like the immune system for the plant, and the chemical makeup of them is similar to our body's makeup, and so that is why you're able to use them and your body's able to break them down so well. Essential oils can quickly penetrate the tissue or skin. Essential oils are some of the most powerful antioxidants. Essential oils benefit the body in several ways. They can relax muscles, support immune systems, maintain normal blood sugar levels, soothe minor aches and pains associated with daily life, promote restful sleep, aid for stomach, and much, much more. Essential oils contain sesquiterpenes, which have the ability to cross through the blood-brain barrier. God, in his wisdom, put a blood-brain barrier in you so that chemicals or things that cross into your body cannot get to your brain. It protects your brain. Because of the chemical makeup of the oils, they are able to cross the blood-brain barrier. And so they are able to, your body, that's why they can be effective for things that have to do with the brain and the limbic system and things that are affected that way, and why they work so well for emotional things. Essential oils are aromatic, and when diffused, they may provide purification by increasing the ozone negative ions in the air and eliminating household odors, filling the air with a fresh aromatic scent. So for over 20 years, Young Living has set the standard for purity and authenticity. They carefully monitor the production of oils from the beginning to the end of the process. Hence what I said to you earlier about the seed to seal promise. That guarantees you that they know the quality of the plant and they know the extent of it from the very beginning, from the seed being put into the ground. They've known the history on the fields and what they use in the fields. And then the same quality standards go all the way to the end when the bottle is sealed and labeled and sent to you. Same standards all the way across. So that's a little bit about Young Living, a little bit about essential oils. Before we get into kind of some of the usages of them, I do want to tell you that I am not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I am giving you my stories and my recommendations based on my research and my study for myself and my family. You are your health advocate, so do your research and know why you make decisions. And if you choose to use a certain oil, do your research on it. We will talk a little bit about reference books and a little bit about what those can do for you, but you're the only one that can be the advocate for yourself. So I encourage you to do that. There's a lot of things about using them for kids and different things that there can be controversy on. The way I choose that and the way I make my decisions is I do my research and then I decide what I'm comfortable using for my family and then I go from there. And that's going to be different for everyone, and that's okay because you are the one that's allowed to make those decisions for your family. So that's kind of, if you're on any medications, if you're pregnant, nursing, anything like that, be sure to verify with your doctor some of the things before you use them. But also know that most trained physicians are not going to be familiar with safe essential oil usage. So just keep that in mind also, hence again, why you are your biggest advocate for this. So Young Living has been used, like I said, for a long time. It's now being used in over 50 hospitals and medical centers across the world. Young Living completes 8 different tests on every batch of oil, and 28% of the oils is what actually gets mailed to you. The rest of them don't meet their quality standards and are used back in the fields. They use them as pesticides and treatment for the soil. So those are the quality standards. They do have third-party testing. Those are the standards that they require for their own oil that you get. So maybe you're wondering, like, what's different about this little bottle of lavender. You can tell this is one of our favorites by the usages on the bottle. What's different about this little bottle of lavender and maybe the bottle of lavender I can go buy at the health food store or at Walmart for a fraction of the cost? Well, a couple of things. We've been doing this the longest, and I trust longevity when it comes to science and it comes to research. I also trust the fact that I've been to quite a few of Young Living's farms. I've seen the process that these oils go through. And on a lot of bottles of oils, on the back of them, it will say, keep out of reach of children, not safe to be used on skin, do not take internally. And one of the things that Young Living stands apart in is that they decided if they your skin is your biggest organ. You absorb everything you put on your skin is absorbed into your bloodstream in some way. So why would I put something on my skin that I could not put into my bloodstream? So they made all the oils safe for internal usage. Now there are some oils that internal usage is not how it's recommended to use because it's not its recommended usage, but they will not harm you internally. There are a few oils that Young Living that you're not supposed to take internally, but that's because of the plant. It's not because of anything in the production. So this little bottle of lavender and what it costs and what goes into this is going to be very different than a little bottle of lavender you can buy anywhere else. I didn't know until last week that Walmart does carry some essential oils now, so keep that on your radar if you're asked the difference. But you have no idea what goes in that bottle. You don't know the guarantee. It doesn't have a quality guarantee. In order to make this bottle of lavender, the amount of plant constituents that it takes to distill and compress and the amount of oil it makes, it takes a whole lot. And therefore it has the value because there is nothing else in this bottle except the oil that comes from the distilled from the lavenders. That cannot be said for all oil companies and cannot be said for all essential oil bottles that you buy. They can have additives, they can have things added to them. It can be a lavender oil, meaning it has lavender in it, but it can also have other fillers and other things to make it go farther, which can affect the price and be able to offer it at a cheaper discount. So know your research, do your research and know your facts about it and why Young Living leads the way in that. Essential oils are God-given. They work perfectly with the body. If you think back to the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve were created among the plants and among nature, and I think they probably, knew the healing powers of rubbing leaves on their skin for certain things, and the menthol and the things that they could do for you. And I think we've come away from that because we're so far removed from nature in a lot of ways. So this is one way that it brings that back, the cycle of of nature and the cycle of what your body's, the healing natural powers that your bodies were. These are not a magic pill. They come with there's a whole holistic approach that comes with using essential oils to reap the most benefits from them. So I oftentimes have people say, my child has had a cough and I've been using the oils and they're just not working. And a lot of times there's other factors to it. If you know that something in the air is bothering them, if they're allergic to dairy, there can be so many other factors. So I know that using essential oils has kind of catapulted a lot of people into a more holistic view of life, because if you're wanting to use something and heal it naturally, it equips your body, but it's one of the tools that equips your body. So this isn't a magic potion that's going to go in and take care of everything. Lavender is really good for seasonal discomforts. But lavender alone is not going to take away seasonal discomforts completely from my body. It's going to help my body be able to tolerate it and not have as much sneezing and itchy eyes and whatever the symptoms might be of that for my body. So it's a tool. It's a critical tool and my biggest tool in our arsenal. But it comes along with a healthy diet and water and the other supplements and vitamins and Ningxia Red, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and stuff like that. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a boost into that. 75% of American homes use synthetic air fresheners. They contain formaldehyde, which has scientifically been proved to have been linked to cancer. So, we've replaced 100% of our candles and synthetic smells with our essential oils, and mainly with by diffusing. That's a great way to help that. Okay, so what are the usages of oils? What's the best way to use them? One of the ways you can use them is topically. We were outside a little bit ago, and we live in Texas, and it is only May, but we have mosquitoes. So I got mosquito bites. So one of the ways that I can use them is I can put a drop of the oil straight onto a mosquito bite. And it will help the sting go away. It'll help cleanse the area, kill any poisons or toxins that are put there by it, and it helps it kind of calm down. So that's one of the usages. You can use them topically. There are, your body has VitaFlex points on the bottom of your feet. You have some of the biggest pores in your body on the bottom of your feet, and VitaFlex points that connect to other organ systems. So using them on VitaFlex points is a great way to get them into your system, and especially great to use them for your kids that way, because sometimes it's hard to get them on certain areas for my kids, but I can always put them on the bottom of their feet and then put their socks on and they're good to go. But you can also use them topically. So there's an oil we're going to talk about called PanAway, and PanAway is great for anything that hurts, but it works best put right on the area. So if I slam my elbow into the wall and and I'm having issues with it hurting, I would be best to just drop PanAway straight onto that area and make sure to help it to heal. So that's one of the ways that you can use them. We'll talk a little bit more about carrier oils. But a carrier oil, this is what I use most often, a fractionated coconut oil. A carrier oil is something that does exactly what it says. It helps the oil carry farther. So if I was to use this and drop a few drops of this in my hand, and then drop a few drops of the oil in my hand and rub it together, I could then take, if I was having leg aches, I could then take my PanAway and rub it in with the coconut oil, and I could massage the whole bottom part of my calf and legs. It would take a whole lot of PanAway oil to do that. So it's not going to make it less effective or work any differently. It's just going to help spread it farther and help carry it. It doesn't lower its effectiveness or anything like that. It just helps it go farther and work a little bit more effectively. The other way is you can directly inhale them. I am newly pregnant and nauseous often right now, so it's not uncommon to just see me with my peppermint bottle, just smelling it. Someone was laughing we were at an event the other night. It was a Young Living event. And I was just sitting there with my peppermint bottle because it helps to have it. Sometimes I put a drop of it into my palm, rub my palms together, and just inhale that way, and do that about 5 or 6 times. That is a great way for them to reach the limbic system. It reaches the brain. The sense of the olfactory nerves, the sense of smell, is one of the only ways that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So doing that for oils lets them reach your brain and has a huge effects emotionally and mentally. But peppermint is very calming for me doing it that way for nausea, so I do that often. Just a word to the wise, be careful what you do with your hands if you've done that, because it will sting if you rub your eyes or do anything else with it on your hands. So I always have to make myself be conscious of that for a little while and just kind of rub my pants or rub something like that before I go to rub my eyes or do anything in any sensitive areas of my body, because peppermint is strong. That's the way you can directly inhale them. You can diffuse them, like I said, the diffuser. We have diffusers going off in our house. My kids have them. We have them in every room, so we use them all night. And then we have one in the living room that we use on a pretty daily basis. That's a good way to get the smell into the house and to get other smells out of the house. Like I said, I'm pregnant, and so smells really rarely bother me. I have a good sense of smell anyway, and now I have a really, really good sense of smell. So we can have something that tasted really good to eat, but the smell of it an hour later is not settling well with me and could cause me to lose the dinner regardless of how good it was. So I will diffuse. We'll talk about purification oil, and that's one that I will diffuse, and it can help eliminate that smell. And what I love about diffusing is that instead of just covering up a smell, if you ever used sprays or things like that, I felt like it always just smelled like you were covering something up versus actually taking the smell away. And purification will do that. Diffusing will actually take the smell away, and when you stop the diffusing, the smell does not come back. So that's something I really love about diffusing, and it's a great way to get them into anything for the respiratory system that you're dealing with, because you'll be inhaling them. It's a good thing to do at night, and it's a good thing to get them in for kids. And then also for some people have husbands or elderly or people who either don't want to or aren't able to use them very much, but you can diffuse them and get them in that way. Internally is another way you can use them. These are, probably can't see them in the bag, these are clear little vegetable capsules, and Young Living sells these, and you can also buy them at the health food store, but I just break them open and I put the drops of oil I want in them and close it and take it like a pill internally. A little note is if you are using these with peppermint or anything strong like that, you'll want to put some carrier oil in with it, because otherwise, when it gets about right here and this capsule starts to dissolve, it'll hurt a little bit right there. So I've learned that the hard way, and sometimes I get lazy and still don't do it, and I always regret it. So just add a little carrier oil to them. I take a couple drops of peppermint in one of these for a digestive aid. We make different capsules when we are fighting something in particular. We will use our oils instead of over-the-counter meds first, and we'll take capsules of them and take them more regularly. You can also put a drop of them in. I use this often and put drops of lemon or orange or grapefruit or things in this, and it really helps the water taste. The only thing about that is if you are using citrus oils, you don't want to put them in plastic, because citrus eats the petrochemicals in your body, which is a great thing for internally. It's a natural detox and cleaning of your liver, but it's not a good thing if you're pouring them into plastic. It's leaching the petrochemicals out of the plastic, and then you're drinking the petrochemicals. So just make sure that you only use it in glass or stainless steel. And then I have like a stainless steel little straw here. You can see that. You can get these on Amazon. And that's how I get my citrus oils in, and how it helps me with water, especially if you have a hard time drinking water. I usually love water, but being pregnant, it kind of doesn't sit well with me. But if I can flavor it, it helps it a lot more. And then that also is you can flavor other things. I know people that use sparkling water and add lime and a little bit of Ningxia or something like that, and it's what's helped them get off of sodas or give up other things. So you can be creative on using that. Another way for internally, not just for drinking, is you can flavor things. We use our lemon in food often. You can use your oregano, your basil, your thyme, all of those. We use lime in guacamole, anything like that. You can always use those internally. So you can put the oils in every orifice of your body and use them, except you don't ever want to put them in your eyes and your ears. That's the only place that you do not want to use them. You can use oils around your eyes. We've used them for eye things, but we've just used them all around the eye that way. And we've used them for lots of different ear situations. Again, just using them on the side and down the back. You just don't want to put a drop of them in your ear, because it can be hot to the touch, and it can bust the eardrum that way. So you don't ever want to put them that way, but you can use them around that way. And again, you can drink them in that. And then just be sensitive to some people's skin for putting them topically, and make sure with a carrier oil. Some people are more sensitive than others, and they might not respond well to them being right on their skin. I have one daughter whose skin is more sensitive to the touch of oils, and so even lavender and peace and calming, things like that, will bother her skin if I put them on directly, but another that can handle them straight. So just get to know your skin. Some of them are considered hot oils, so when you put those on topically, that's when you would want to use a carrier oil, so that you can batter the surface so it doesn't sting them. Let's see. Again, don't put them directly in your eyes or your ears. We talked about carrier oils and feeling hot to the skin. If you were to get an oil in your eye, remember, water and oil don't mix. Oil and water don't mix, so your first reaction wants to be to go get water and splash it out to wash your eyes, but you actually want to get a carrier oil and rub it around your eyes, and it will draw the oil out. Water will just push it in farther. So if you are trying to, like when I was saying for ear issues, when we've used oils around them, I've then taken a warm wash rag and laid it over it, and it's like a warm compress, and it helps drive the oils in and be more effective. So it can be a good thing, but if you're trying to get the oil out, you don't really want to do water, because it pushes it in farther. And you would want to use another oil. Again, if you're pregnant, epileptic, on certain medicines, just do your research and check with your doctor on some of those things, because some of them can have reactions. Citrus oils are also photosensitive. So lemon is a great oil for skin blemishes, and I use it often for that. But I would put it on at night. I will spot treat basically blemishes with lemon oil. It helps them dry out, but I will use it at night, and then I'm fine. You just don't want to use it in the morning and then go to the beach, because you'll burn in the spots where the citrus oils are, because of them being photosensitive. If you have any allergies, make sure you read the bottles. It's very rare to be allergic to a true essential oil. Oftentimes it's a additive that your body is having a reaction to, but it's possible. Most of them are, if they have, in some of the blends have carrier oils in them, not very many, but some do, and they use coconut oil for most of those now, but some used to use almond oil, and just be aware of reading the labels for things like that if there's allergies or things that you need to be careful of. Okay, so we're going to talk now a little bit about the oils that come in your starter kit. Here is a little view of the, I don't know if you can see this, of the VitaFlex. That gives you a very view of what I was referencing and how they have connections with things in the body. That is the VitaFlex point chart. Okay, lavender is the first oil we're going to talk about. We talked about a little bit, but lavender, it's often called the Swiss Army knives of oils. You can apply 2 to 4 drops topically on any of your VitaFlex points. You can diffuse it, use it aromatically. You can take it in capsules. A lot of people I know use it in capsules for seasonal discomforts and things. You can apply it to burns, scrapes, cuts, cold sores, insect bites, really good on sunburns, rashes, acne, or anything to soothe and cleanse. You can use it in a capsule. You can add it to a teaspoon of honey is another way to take it internally, or you can swipe it directly on your cheek or around the nose to support healthy lungs, sinus, and immune function. You can diffuse or use it in an Epsom salt bath or apply topically to promote relaxation and a restful sleep. I oftentimes apply it to the bottom of my feet before I go to bed for a restful sleep. I often will add it to a half a cup or a cup of Epsom salts and then pour those into the bath to take a relaxing bath. You can massage onto the abdomen for menstrual cramps. It's just a relaxant, so it's going to have that effect on others. Lavender is one of the oils that we use on a daily basis, and another one of the oils that I don't ever run out of. So there are some oils, and I was going to mention this a little bit later. Anyway, there are some oils that we always have backups of, and lavender is one of those for us because, you know, if we need it, I want to have it, and I always want to have extras of it. This is peppermint. We talked a little bit about peppermint already. Romans and Greeks used peppermint to flavor food and wines. Medical books date it back to reference back to AD 1240. You can dilute parts of it with a carrier oil and use it topically, or you can use it straight on VitaFlex points or on abdomen. Just beware that it is hot oil, so it could be a little bit too much for some people. Aromatically, you can directly infuse it, inhale it, or you can diffuse it, or you can put drops in capsule like we talked about. To ease tension, uplift, and energize, apply diluted to or instructed to the temples or the back of the neck, or press a drop up to the roof of your mouth. I oftentimes put it on my thumb and then press it up to the roof of my mouth. That's another way for nausea or just for stress in general. It's a way to get it quickly to your bloodstream. Use in a capsule with a carrier oil to help normal digestion. Dilute as instructed and apply to the back of the neck for cooling and refreshing relief for sore muscles. And you can improve concentration and focus by placing a couple drops on the tongue and diffusing also. So there have been studies about using it during test taking and things like that, and how it can improve your mental concentration. The next one is lemon. I already mentioned lemon a little. Lemon's been used for centuries to lower acidity in the body. In the 1790s, it was given to sailors in the Royal Navy to eliminate vitamin deficiency and scurvy. So there are lots and lots of uses for lemon, and it's another one that is a very inexpensive oil, and so it's one that you can use more liberally if you're looking for that, and also one that we don't ever run out of. You can use it topically. Remember, it's photosensitive, so you don't want to use it and then go lay by the pool. You can inhale it or diffuse it, and you can apply it to drinking water. It can assist with water retention and appetite suppression. It supports digestive function, especially of the gallbladder. You can use it in an Epsom salt bath to accelerate detoxing and refresh the body and mind. And then also you can diffuse during test taking or homework is another thing like peppermint to help with mental accuracy and concentration. You can use it directly to remove, use it straight to remove anything like stickers or oily residues, or it has replaced like a glue gun in our home. We use it for anything that we would have used that for. And it also works really well on stains, laundry, and things like that. Especially on white clothes, you can drop it on and it works really well for those. That's lemon. The next one is frankincense, and I realized I don't think I have Not that it matters to you because you're just looking at it, but I don't think I have that one in my bag. Frankincense, one of the 3 oils that the wise men brought to Jesus, one of the 3 gifts after his birth, frankincense was considered as valuable as gold. Egyptian tradition states that frankincense is good for everything from gout to a broken head, or in other words, good from head to toe. So frankincense is something that's been used for a very long time and has lots of value. You can diffuse it or inhale it. Again, it's a good emotional support oil, so diffusing it can help with that, or inhaling it directly. You can apply drops of it in a capsule with Idaho balsam fir and copaiba to help relax sore muscles and tension, and ease tension. It supports healthy skin by you can apply it directly to moles, skin tags, scars, wrinkles, and age spots. And you can add it to a capsule daily just for immune system support. I have heard frankincense referred to many times as like a pre-treatment for cellular health. And you can use your imagination on what cellular health would mean, but it's a word we cannot use. But it is a way to help prevent something before it's an issue. So I like to make sure that something I'm using during the day has frankincense in it, and I'm getting that internally on a daily basis, just to keep my cells well and healthy before it becomes a problem. The next one is Melaleuca, and this now is called tea tree oil on our bottles. It's always been known as tea tree oil, but they actually changed the bottle now to say tea tree oil. Tea tree oil was used in the 1700s by the indigenous people of Australia to treat cuts, wounds, fungus, and infections. So it has a whole lot of uses. Its main uses are topically and aromatic. It can clean feet thoroughly. You can add it directly to the feet and toenails and massage for any sort of fungi or issues with that. It can promote healthy lung function, massage onto chest and throat for that. And again, just keep in mind using it on adults or kids. You'll want to be careful with the how your skin responds to it, so you can even it out. You can always add a carrier oil. For maintenance of the healthy skin or to ease discomforts from bumps or scrapes, apply directly to the affected area. For maintenance and prevention of scalp and hair issues, add 20 drops of oil to 2 tablespoons of shampoo and massage onto the scalp and hair and leave on for 10 minutes. It's really good for your scalp and hair, and it has a very good, like, tingly, cleansing feeling to your scalp. That's good. Use as a mouth rinse to help support healthy gut, teeth, and gum. So Melaleuca is another one that is used often in our house, and I feel like I say that about every single one, but probably because it's true. Stress Away. Those are all the singles that are in the starter kit, and now we're going to talk about the rest of the 11 oils, that's the blends. Stress Away has copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, ocotillo, and lavender in it. Stress Away is a favorite around our house, and I just pulled it out to use it a few minutes ago before my class started and realized that it's empty. Young Living sells Stress Away in a roller like this that already has the roller on it, so you can just roll it right onto your skin. They also just sell it in a regular 15 milliliter that you can apply for diffusing or for anything that way. It smells like the description that oftentimes have heard and used is like a beach, like you're diffusing a beach. If you think of lime, cedarwood, and vanilla, those smell all together. It smells very tropical, so it's a wonderful smelling oil. You can apply it directly to the wrist or back of the neck to help reduce tension and ease the stress on the nervous system. You can diffuse at bedtime to promote a restful night's sleep. It calms busy children or anxious pets when diffused or applied topically. Oftentimes we will apply it before going to the grocery store or things like that. You can inhale it directly from the bottle to reduce mental stress and restore your equilibrium. And you can place on a tissue or a cotton ball and use in your automobiles for peaceful road trips. We have a small diffuser, the Orb diffuser, ORB, from Young Living that plugs to a USB, and it's wonderful for road trips and anything in the car, and Stress Away is a wonderful one to use. Because plus on road trips, I feel like my car always gets funky smelling when you're eating and you're in and out and people and stuff. So the diffusing really helps doing that. The next one is Purification. Purification is a blend of lemongrass, citronella, lavender, rosemary, melaleuca, and myrtle. Purification basically does what it says. It purifies, it cleans. We use Purification. It's one of the ones we use when we make bug sprays. We use Purification for that. So, and you can use it topically if you do get bug bites. It's great for that. We diffuse it for anything smell-wise that we want to, or purifying the air. We put drops of it in our trash can when we take the trash out to help that stay clean. I also will put drops on the sink or disposal, put it on my kitchen sponge, anything that needs just kind of a refreshing, we will add it to that. You can apply topically to cleanse, soothe, and cuts and scrapes. You can apply topically to bee stings or bites to help relieve the discomforts. It, like I said, works as a natural chemical-free bug repellent. It's a great thing to put on cotton balls and drop in the bottom of your trash or places you're trying to eliminate smells at. Diffusing it with lemon or orange or something else makes a very good cleansing scent and is really good to purify the air. I like diffusing those on days when I've been cleaning or washing sheets and doing things that just helps kind of freshen up like a spring cleaning feel in the air. The next one is Panaway. Panaway is a blend of helichrysum, wintergreen, clove, and peppermint. Panaway is awesome to apply topically. Its main uses are topical and aromatic. So this is not really one that you would diffuse or not really one that you would just kind of smell typically. Using it topically is its main, the main way that it was intended for use. No, not that it won't have benefits that way, but that's the main way that it's intended for use. So applying it topically or using it in Epsom salt to put it in a bath is a great way to get it for sore muscles and achiness. I oftentimes use it on the back of my neck or on my forehead or temples for headaches. To help relax muscles, helichrysum essential oil can be added to enhance the benefits of Panaway. If you already have it, it can add more to it. You can add wintergreen to help the effects on bone structure. And you can apply it anywhere it hurts. So that's basically what the usage of Panaway are, is basically what it says. The next one is Thieves. And Thieves is a favorite for sure from Young Living. It's a blend of clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So Young Living has a whole line of Thieves products. You can diffuse it to kill things in the air, airborne bacteria and things. You can apply to the bottom of your feet. We use it on a daily basis on the bottom of my kids' feet with a wellness blend, and that really helps us to stay well and to keep everyone well. And then we would use it just more often if someone did get sick. But we use it regardless of how everyone's feeling on a daily basis, just to kind of use as our insurance for wellness for everyone. I will take it in a capsule when I'm getting sick. My kids obviously can't do that. They're little, but I will put it in a teaspoon of honey. And I put a little bit of honey in the spoon. I put a drop of Thieves. I put a little bit of honey again. And then just have them take it and give them water right away. And it does have clove in it, so it does have a little bit of a numbing effect. So if it stings, it will be very short-lived. And for us, sometimes it's one of the things that I, as a mean mom, make them do because we don't use over-the-counter medicine. So it's kind of this is not really an option. If you're sick, this is how we deal with it. And it's not going to hurt you. It just won't taste your favorite. So again, just use it up to your discretion and always try them on yourself before you give them to your kids to make sure it works. And make sure the intensity of what you're applying to them works so that they can handle it. You can add a drop of it to warm apple juice for immune boosting. I added it to hot water with a couple drops of lemon as like a Thieves tea for a sore throat and things like that. So Young Living has a whole line of Thieves products. And I have said from the beginning of this, if I only ever used the Thieves products, I feel like I would still be as on board with Young Living and building a business as I was from everything else. Because the Thieves products are, in a lot of ways, what makes this, what made Young Living. They have a Thieves cleaner, they have mouthwash, toothpaste, they have hand sanitizer, spray, they have wipes, so many things. So I would encourage you to look into that. And we'll talk in a little bit about essential rewards, but that's one of the things that I've slowly done is gone through and replaced a lot of the products in our house with a lot of the Thieves products. And I have loved the benefits of those. Okay, the next one is Joy. Joy is a blend of rose, bergamot, mandarin, ylang-ylang lemon, geranium, jasmine, pomarosa, Roman chamomile, and rosewood. I keep Joy in a little roller like this and keep it in me on my back that I keep in my purse with me. Joy is what I use kind of like my perfume. So I use it on a regular basis and oftentimes use it on my kids and my husband request it also. It just has a very uplifting smell to it. I've never had anyone smell and be like, oh, what does that smell on me? I oftentimes get people to say, that smells really good, but it smells a little different in the bottle, it smells a little different diffused. So if it's one of the oils that you don't like when you got your kit, I would encourage you to just try using it differently and see. You can apply over your heart and your wrist to help bring happiness to the heart, to help with, a lot of times it works for us with helping for cheerful attitudes type things. We can apply joy to help with that. Diffuse joy with lemon for an uplifting and invigorating scent. You can apply 2 drops to a wet cloth and put that in the clothes dryer to help refresh laundry. You can do that with any oil. Apply diluted on children to lift occasional moodiness or defiance, and provides a fresh and happy scent when added to organic Castile soap to make an all-natural body wash. I love the smell of it for using it for things like that. Okay, the next one is Citrus Fresh. This is a bonus oil that comes in your starter kit. It's a blend of mandarin, orange, lemon, tangerine, grapefruit, and spearmint. This fragrant blend amplifies creativity and well-being, eases normal anxious feelings, and promotes mental alertness and accuracy. It's just a full-on citrus blend, and it smells really good. It's really good diffused. It's also really good added to water because it's all those citruses together. So those are the oils that come in your starter kit. You will also get a sample of Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red, or red juice, as my kids call it, is another huge factor in keeping my family well, and something that we use on a daily basis. It's made from the wolfberry, which has the ORAC scale puts to shame the antioxidants of blueberries or anything that we think of as high. 1 ounce, 1 to 2 ounces is a daily serving. So this is, for 1 ounce, this is about 25 servings. So this would be basically like 1 month's supply for one person if you took an ounce. I take 2 ounces a day, and I give my kids 1 ounce a day because I'm nice like that. So let's see, 1 ounce of it can be equivalent to 3 cups of raspberries, 4 pounds of carrots, 2 quarts of carrot juice, 8 oranges, 2 pounds of raw beets, 2 cups of beet juice, and 3 cups of blueberries. So I don't know about you, but there has never been a meal in my life that I have eaten that extent of fruit and antioxidants. So that's what you're getting in 1 ounce of the Ningxia Red. It promotes wellness, energy, and vigor, protects the body and contributes to better health, assists with mild memory problems associated with aging, helps maintain normal blood pressure and blood sugar levels, supports a healthy immune system, neutralizes 4 most dangerous free radicals, helps maintain cholesterol levels already in the normal range, and alleviates the blues and helps promote emotional well-being. And it contains the highest known antioxidant food known, which is the Ningxia wolfberry. So you'll get a couple samples of this in your starter kit. I encourage you, if you haven't tried them yet, to stick them in the fridge, get them cold. They taste better cold, and then try them. It's something that was a goal of mine to get my whole family on, and we all take it. And we all love it and don't typically miss a day. My kids don't really let me miss a day of it. They remind me that they haven't had it. So hey, that is the starter kit. That is the everyday oils and their usages. So a little bit beyond that, part that I wanted to make sure we cover, first off, is Essential Rewards. So Essential Rewards is a way to be on an auto ship program with Young Living. So it's a generous Essential Rewards program that allows you to earn points for your monthly auto ship order that you can redeem for free products. You can change your order and ship date each month, and there's a 50 PV, which is product value, minimum each month. So you get reduced shipping charges. In your first month 1 to 6, you're going to earn back 10% of everything you get in points that you can redeem for products. From month 7 to 12, you're going to get 15% back. From month 13 on, you get 20% back. So right now, I order on a monthly basis, and I've been doing it long enough, I get 20% back. So I can stockpile my points and redeem them for a lot, or I can on a monthly basis treat myself to something. I love something else that we won't have time to cover all of, but I love Young Living skincare line and all their products for skin. So that's something I oftentimes use my points for because then I feel like it's a treat for myself, and I am not spending our oil money on it, so to speak. So you can find something like that you might not normally add to your order and use your points on that, and I guarantee you it'll be a good way to get you hooked on something else. You can skip 1 month a year, but you have to request it. And you can cancel at any time with no penalties. If you cancel, just make sure that you redeem your points before you cancel. Because if you cancel and start ER again, you will start back at the beginning of the earning. You can enroll in that in your virtual office. It's a pretty simple process. So again, you pick the products that go in your cart, and you choose the day of the month that you want it to ship. And then every month you can go in. So what I do is I go in, my auto date right now is the first of the month. And I go in all through the month and I add stuff to my cart. We need this, I ran out of this, I want to keep an extra of this, stuff like that. And then make sure before the first, it processes at midnight on the day that you have it set. So on the first of the month at midnight is when it's going to be processing. So I have all day on the first to get it set the way I want it, and then it processes that night. And then the next day, or whenever it ships, I can go in and change my order before it ships for the next month. I could even change the day if I need to move it around based on needing it sooner or payday or whatever you want to move it around for. You can totally do that. You can only do one ER order a month. So since mine is the first, I can't then do it on the 20th. It would have to be the following month. You can place as many orders a month as you want, but only one that can be on Essential Rewards. So I would encourage you to look into Essential Rewards, especially if you are using these products, you will want to reorder them. And Essential Rewards is a great way to help you manage that, and a great way to keep you replenished on the ones that you use on a regular basis. Some people have a hard time with the concept of, how do I budget $50 a month for oils when I spend, oftentimes it's easier to spend a set amount here and then wait a couple months and then spend a set amount. So I would encourage you to work out your budget to how you can spend $50 a month, and then just limit your orders. So replacement buy, and you have to plan ahead a little bit farther. And if you use Lavender and Thieves, then you can order 1 bottle of Lavender and Thieves, and that can be your $50 order. 1 month you can try something new and another bottle. Like, you can just kind of plan it out, but it just takes a little bit more forethought than realizing we ran out of everything and we're reordering everything, waiting for 6 months and reordering everything. And you can earn free stuff back that you can redeem for anything that you want. One of the things I started doing with ER is I started doing replacement buying when I first started. So I started buying toothpaste and hand soap and mouthwash and things that I was buying elsewhere and using, just had not used from Young Living. So I started replacement buying from other areas of our home and adding those to my ER, and now we use all of those on a regular basis. So reference books is another thing, and I was going to have mine here to show you, but I didn't bring them. There are, if you did not receive a reference book when you enrolled with Young Living, if you are already enrolled, you can talk to the person who helped you sign up, and they can get you in touch with reference books and how to get those. Most leaders have access to them. If you don't, you can order them. You can order them on Amazon. Life Science Publishing is the company that we get them from. Another company is Abundant Health, the number 4 and the letter U.com. So Abundant Health, the number 4 and the letter U.com. That has a lot of Young Living accessories and oils, things that you can use. So they sell a lot of small books and a lot of really good resources to keep. One of those, if you have kids and are using oils, is called Gentle Babies. That book is a must-have in our home. And when I first had my son, is when I started using oils when I was pregnant with him. It was like on my nightstand as something I referenced all the time. Can I use this? What should I use for this kind of thing? And it goes through pregnancy and childbirth and the newborn stage. But it still has great stuff for me, for kids in general. There's a book called Dr. Mom in there. There's a lot of different books that you can, first aid, emergency, first aid, and essential oils. So Abundant Health has a whole lot of resources that you can look at. But I would encourage you to take advantage of those. And if you don't have a reference book and you want to talk to someone about getting one, I would encourage you to do that. They also sell larger, like, desk references, and that was something that I also really use on a regular basis. And I think is vital as your experience grows and as you continue to use more. I think it's something that is very important to have. Another place is ylsearch.com is a website that is a great resource that you can look stuff up. So you can enter a keyword on there, and it will pull up everything that testimonies that have been posted different places on with those keywords. Another one is oily, and then it's a -testimonials.com, and that one is the same way. It actually has like a resource of its own testimonies that people have posted, and you can pull up and search by keyword and things will come up. So those are some of the resources. Another thing, Young Living sells labels. See if you can see these. bottle labels, and they are great because like this has my little label, so I keep them in my bag and they all sit straight up, and then I can see what's on the top of it, and it makes it a lot easier to use them. Young Living also sells roller tops. They're called Roller Fit Mitts. So if you're looking for those, they sell those in a pack of 10, and they're great because any oils that are, this is one that we use on a regular basis for my kids. It's one of the kids scent oils. It's called Sniffle Ease. And it's much easier to use with a roller on the top because I can catch them a lot faster and roll it where I need when they have the sniffles versus having to add a carrier oil and put it on something since the kids scent oils are already diluted and ready to go to be used topically. Abundant Health, the website I mentioned, also has things like this little spray bottle. This is a glass spray bottle. This is a lavender lemon spray. We use these type of bottles for our bug sprays, for all sorts of things, but they're safe to use with the oils. They're glass, and you can make your own things with water and other things. And then carry cases. Amazon has a ton of great cases that you can use. But I would encourage you to find something that's convenient for you to carry them in, carry them in a bag or in a purse. The most effective oil is the oil you have. So if you know what you deal with the most, what I carry with me on a daily basis is going to look different than what someone else carries with them. But I know what we deal with and what our issues are, and so that's why I choose. There's some of the everyday oils that I keep with me regardless, and then I choose on top of that what we need and what works for us. I mentioned a little bit about Young Living has a whole lot of supplements. So I would encourage you to go in and explore. If you go into your virtual office and you look into supplements under your ordering, they have good descriptions and they're split up by different categories, so you can look into some of those. That's another thing that we've replacement bought is we've replaced a lot of our calcium and digestive enzymes and fish oils and some of the things we were taking anyway. We've replaced those with Young Living products. All their supplements are oil infused, so you get the maximum absorption. And so that's something that I really like, is that we're getting the oils internally from them that way. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Young Living has every month a promotion that they offer, and it's offered in different increments. So if you spend, the first one is at $190 PV of product value, which is typically equal to dollars. This next one is at $250, and the next one after that is at $300. So at each of those levels, Young Living has a promotion of things that they will give you for free when you spend that amount. So I would encourage you to look into those every month. You should be getting an email if you are a current member at the beginning of every month about what the monthly promotions are. Your team, if you're in Facebook groups, post those so you can see what those are. But I oftentimes plan my order around those, and most of the time the 300 is things that I want. So I kind of plan my order around that. If you're aiming for something, it's also a great way to get to try new oils, because usually at $190 it's a single oil that comes. And I've gotten oils that way that I was able to try and didn't realize that I would use so much. And it's a great way to start adding oils to me, to my collection, and to know that I would be trying them. So again, the best oil to use is the one you have. So making sure that you keep your collection for what you're going to be using. Okay, so that's about all the information I have for you tonight. You can follow up with the person who sent you to this class, who gave you this link. You're welcome to post questions in the event. If you watch this and you're not sure who sent it to you or how you got in touch with it, you're welcome to comment in the event, and I can try to match you up with who that might be, and they can give you the sign-up process and the process to go through to get your starter kit ordered. If you already have your kit and you're watching this, hopefully this gave you some ideas of ways to use those oils and help them be more effective so that you can feel better equipped for using them. So anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you have a lovely evening.